So today, we also want to talk about nth roots. So far we should be good at square roots, third roots, but we also want to be good at nth roots, which means fourth roots, fifth roots, seventh roots, ninth roots, whatever type of root. So let's understand this. The nth root is really the power of 1 over n. Okay? So the nth root of anything, nth root of scared face, is the same thing as scare face to the power of 1 over n. Scarface. Scareface. I said scare. Look, it's scared. I look scared. Whoa, that's not cool. I just messed it up. There you go. I look scared. Okay. So we already knew this though. We already knew that the square root of 9, we could rewrite it as 9 to the 1/2 power, right? We already knew that the third root of 8 could be written as 8 to the 1/3 power, okay? So what we're saying here is the nth root. It could be any number you want right here. It could be the 5th root, could be the 12th root. You could rewrite it as 1 over that same number. Is that making sense? So if I say, what is the 4th root of happy face? You could say that that is really what? Happy face to the power of 1 over 4. Okay? How about this guy? If I had the 5th root of x to the 15th, would that be an easy problem to do or a difficult problem to do? See, if you know that the 5th root can be rewritten as the power of what? 1/5. The 5th root could be rewritten as the power of 1/5. Now, if you know that, you'll be able to do this. You'll be able to take that x to the 15th and put it in there and then multiply power to a power. So when you have a 5th root, you know it becomes to the power of 1/5. That means you want this exponent to be divisible by 5. And it is. So what's your answer going to be right there? X to the, right here, what's the answer right there going to be? X to the 3rd power. Because 15 divided by 5 is 3. How about this? The 7th root of x to the 21. So what I'm trying to show here with my face, it's the same face, right? That means that it could be anything you want. Right here we have the x to the 21 in place of my face. So I know I could rewrite the nth root. I could rewrite that square root as the power of 1 over n. Okay? So whatever you have, whatever root you have right here, it's going to be the power of 1 over that same root. So I'm going to rewrite this as what? X to the 21 to what power, guys? To the power of 1/7. Now the power of 1/7, when you multiply 21 times 1/7, that's really simply saying 21 divided by 7. So that's just 3. X to the 3rd is your answer. Okay, let's try some more. How about the 8th root of x to the 16th? What's that going to be? That's just going to be 2. That's just going to be x to the 2. I'm sorry. X to the 2. X squared. So if you wanted to show your work, the 8th root of x to the 16th, you could rewrite it as the 1/8 power and put that x to the 16 right in there. And then multiply power to a power. 16 times 1/8, that's simply 16 divided by 8. So your answer is x squared. Ladies and gentlemen, we could even do the 24th root of x to the 48. Eddie, what would the answer be? Once again, all you need to know is that whatever root you have, this is a 24th root, whatever root you have, you could rewrite it as a rational exponent. You could rewrite the 24th root as the power of 1 over 24. As the power of 1 over 24. So you could say, I'm going to rewrite it as a power of 1 over 24. And on the inside, you have x to the 48. Now remember, a power to a power, you multiply. When you go 48 times 1 over 24, that really becomes 48 over 24, which really means 48 divided by 24. And 48 divided by 24 is x squared. It's really a shame if you guys, I mean, this is something pretty basic, and you guys miss this because you're not paying attention. Please pay attention. Okay, what's the answer there, guys? X to the fourth. How about the square root of x to the 12th? X to the sixth. How about the sixth root of x to the 12th? X to the second. You guys see how easy this is? Okay, I think we got it. So we have both of these examples. I'm going to start with this one on the left. And notice that this is a fifth root. Okay? This is a fifth root. So one thing we could do right off the bat is split all the fifth roots to each of the terms. And then after that, you want to find what number times itself 5 times will give you 32. So you could easily get a calculator and just start typing in 2 to what? 2 and use the caret button right here. So 2 to the fifth, that gives you 32. So because of that fact, we know that the fifth root of 32 is what? 2. So you really have a nice 2, no more radical. Now this next one right here, we know that the fifth root is really the power of what? 1/5. So we know that this, if it's divisible by 5, it's really easy to do, right? So 10 divided by 5 is what? 10 divided by 5 is 2. So your answer is what? X to the second, x squared. No more radical. Okay? Now, of course, I probably should have shown my work and rewritten it. Here's the work right here, guys. I could have taken the fifth root of x to the 10th and rewrote it as x to the 10th to the 1/5 power. And then when I multiply 10 times 1/5, that's really 10 fifths, which is the same thing as dividing 10 by 5, which gives you x squared. So whenever you're dealing with a power in here and a root out here, it ultimately breaks down to this, 10 divided by 5. The answer is 2. There is no remainder, okay? And the last one, you can't really do anything with the fifth root of y to the fourth. You can't even do 4 divided by 5. So we're just going to leave it like that. So far, or actually our final answer is 2x squared, fifth root of y to the fourth. That's our final complete answer on that one. So if we look at this other one, this one's not the fifth root, this one's a fourth root. Okay? So we could split up that fourth root to each of the terms. And then we could use a calculator to see what to the fourth power will give us 162. So if I went 2 to the fourth power, we get 64. Actually, no, we get 16. If we go 3 to the fourth power on the calculator, you get 81. Now, I could stop right there because I could see that 81 times 2 is 162. So I'm going to use this perfect fourth powered number 81 to rewrite 162 as 81 times 2. So I'm going to rewrite it as 81 times 2, and then I'm going to split the fourth root. And now I could actually do the fourth root of 81. What's the fourth root of 81? 3. Looking at our calculator, 3 to the fourth is 81, so the fourth root of 81 is 3. So you're going to end up with the 3 right here. Whoops. And we still have the fourth root of 2 on the inside of the radical. And then we move on to the next term over here, the fourth root of x to the 12th. Once again, that's like saying 12 divided by 4. What's 12 divided by 4? That's 3. So you end up with x to the third on the outside of the radical. And last but not least, 2 divided by 4 you can't do. Okay, so you could just leave it like that. However, technically you could rewrite that Because if you did go 2 divided by 4, you could rewrite that as 1/2 because 2 over 4 is 1/2. So you could change it to the square root. I'll accept either one on Friday's test. So you could leave it, the 4th root of y squared. And actually, I probably would leave it because this one's still a 4th root over here, so we could put these guys together. So let's rearrange our answer. Our answer will be 3x to the 3rd, 4th root of 2y squared. So that is our answer. The easier it does get. Copy these down. We have the 7th root of 128, x to the 14th, y to the 6th. That's why I say calculators are very important right now. Let's actually focus in on this one problem only, then we'll look at the other. When I do the 7th root, obviously I'm going to get a calculator, and I'm going to do different things to the 7th power. Now, if I did try 3 to the 7th, it's going to be way too big, way more than 128. But if I actually do 2 to the 7th power, you see right here, 2 caret, the caret button's right here, to the 7th power, hit equal, it'll be 128. So that means that the 7th root of 128 is what? 2. So, let me split the root. And then we just said that the 7th root of 128 is what? 2. How about the 7th root of x to the 14th? Once again, the way that works, since it's 1/7 power, you're going to have to multiply by 14. It's like saying 14 divided by 7, which is 2. So what are we going to put right here? X to the 2nd. Yeah, x to the 2. And last but not least, could I divide 6 by 7? No, so I'm just going to leave it like that. 7th root of y to the 6th. And that's it. That is my answer, 2x squared 7th root of y to the 6th. If you're at home, pause it, try to do this one. Let's split up the 6th root. The 6th root. The 6th root. And the 6th root. So splitting up the 6th root to each of those. Now we need to know what number times itself 6 times gives us 128. Or at least something that we could use to get 128. Yeah, if you use a calculator, and since we're dealing with the 6th root, you want to do something to the 6th power. So if I did go 2 to the 6th power, that gives me 64. Now that's not 128, but I do know that I could actually multiply this by 2 and it'll give me 128. So I'm going to take the 128 and rewrite it as 64 times 2. That way when I split the 6th root and the 6th root, I could actually do the 6th root of 64. What is the 6th root of 64? 2. Okay, and then the 6th root of 2 is just going to come down. Now let me deal with the variables. That's kind of the hard part right there. The variables are pretty easy because when I say the power of 18, that's divided by 6. That gives us x to the 3rd, and x to the 3rd is going to be on the outside, no more root. And then when I say 24 divided by 6, what do I get? That's y to the 4th. That's right. Y to the 4th, no more radical. And then right here, the z to the 3 divided by, or 3 divided by 6, you can't do it. It could be z to the 1/2, but notice that we still have a 6th root over here. So let's not have different roots. If this root wasn't here, then yeah, you could change it to a 1/2 power, which is a square root. But because it's the 6th root and 6th root, let's keep them together. So here's our answer, all of this. But let's just organize it. So this is our answer right here, all of this. Let's just organize it. So let's put the nice number 2 out in front. Let's put the nice x to the 3rd next. The next nice y to the 4th. And then after that, the radicals, which are 6th roots in this case. And we're going to put the 2 first and then the z to the 3rd right next to it together underneath that one same radical. And that is your answer right there. Now, let me repeat, guys. We're going to have these same exact type of questions on the test Friday. But we do need to move on to the next section, which is very easy. Check it out.